This week on the Unqualified Gamers Podcast, Missa steps in to help us talk about Marathon and the Switch 2. Episode 116, right?
I would expect you to be so much more excited to say that this morning.
Dude, it's fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not excited about anything.
Whoa. You did this. You picked this time. All right.
You did.
We have no idea what this time of day looks like anymore.
Okay.
Well, that's not true because I wake up at 9.
I wanted to do it Thursday.
Well, we had our, co-host that decides that work is more important than this podcast and decides, I'm going to go to Texas again. So
yeah, well, I still wanted to do it Thursday, but I don't know. I'm tired. I'm very tired this morning.
Yeah, you look you look a little tired.
Yeah.
But I should have started this whole thing off, or you should have, as the intro, introduced our guest today.
Oh,
if you guys
yeah,
have,
we have a guest.
If did you just notice that we?
No, I've been talking to her all morning.
You look like an alligator wrangler from Florida, apparently. Cece didn't notice, but yeah, today we have as our guest my beautiful girlfriend and our editor of all of our shorts, Missa.
Hello.
Yay, Missa.
I would like to say that I'm the first female guest of the podcast.
You are.
On the podcast.
You are the first guest, but one of the original hosts.
One of the original hosts was
one of the original hosts back when they had, fives of followers was Queen Cheese.
Dude, we
were OG.
We were OG back then, all right? We didn't care about followers.
All right, well, love to Queen Cheese. She's the OG.
Yeah.
I don't know. So she actually was only about, 30 minutes away while we were down in
30
Texas?
30 minutes to an hour, yeah, and she didn't come see us.
And she didn't want to come see us.
Have you guys, ever met her in person before?
No.
And she didn't want to come?
And I did a podcast with her for, a year. Or, no, man, it probably wasn't close to it. Probably wasn't a year, but, 6 months. But Swag didn't come meet us.
Okay, so Swag has an excuse because
he went to his girlfriend's house.
He was trying to get Bammy pregnant, and they succeeded. So Swag is going to be Big Daddy Swag.
Bullshit. I still think it's bullshit.
There's going to be a mini Swag.
Yes, there's going to be a. I like that mini Swag.
Mini Swag.
It's either mini Swag or Lil Bammy.
Or Lil Swag, like how all the rappers are just like Lil Baby and shit.
Oh, and Da Baby and T-Pain's whole I'ma go off on it. All these guys, half these bitches have baby in their name. Have you seen that? Have you seen that meltdown, Cece?
No.
So you know who T-Pain is, right?
Yes. Okay.
Well, you're a really, really white dude from Iowa.
I know. It's understandable that I.
So I'm glad that you do have at least a little bit of you're kind of in touch with your ghetto roots.
I have Spotify.
That's just racist. But anyway,
how's that racist?
Right.
But anyway, so this dude goes on this rant.
I think
on Twitch
I entered to a song with T-Pain in it one time, actually. When I fought.
Oh, okay. I don't know why when you said entered, I thought you meant
what song was it?
You did a collab with him?
It was a T.I. song, but it had T-Pain in it, I think. I'll have to let me double check that. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just realizing, okay, sorry to pause this, but I think I'm realizing that Cece's voice when he talks loud is coming through me because I see myself light up when he's talking.
That's okay.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's
back
okay.
to the podcast.
We may have a little echo.
Okay.
Just so you know, it never paused. So, yeah. Don't worry.
No, I know it never paused, but I'm just bringing it up.
It's all right.
Okay. Thank you. But
hey, we finally adjusted through both ears recently, so
I heard about that.
Yeah, I mean,
now your left and right ear can enjoy the podcast.
Right?
That one comment, that was the best comment ever on that one.
My left
TikTok.
ear really enjoyed this. Yeah.
Yes. So I am so glad
I
that.
I really
Go ahead.
enjoyed the "You're wearing a Tesla shirt." I'm never gonna watch this podcast again.
And
here
so,
you
what does he wear? A SpaceX shirt. So much
Yeah.
better.
Same thing, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with
not,
you.
no. Hold on. We're not getting political. We're staying away from politics. We're gonna.
What I'm saying is, I woke up at 7:30 this morning and I picked it up off my floor, so that's why I'm wearing it. Yeah.
If that's how you pick your clothing, maybe you should find a receptacle for
Oh,
your.
there's receptacles. I was just tired as f this morning. See that,
So
guys?
were we.
See that red f? By the
Very
way,
good.
I had the least amount of swears last week. Zeus had the most, and Kai was second. I think Zeus had 11, 3, or 11, like 5 and 3. It was.
Who tallies these up?
Red did it last week.
Red Stang. It's one of his.
No, it's not Red Stang. It's Kai's buddy, Red Devil.
Oh.
Red
Yeah.
Devil.
I think that's his name.
All right. Well, shout out to Red Devil, I guess.
For holding everyone accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and making sure that we are becoming more family friendly.
Kai had 11, Zeus had 4, and I had 3.
Yeah, I'm about to say I was not the.
You're right. You were the most the week before.
Yeah. Only because no, I wasn't. You were the worst the week before.
I don't think so.
I love how every time I edit, CC will say this, effing that. Oh god, dang it! And then says another swear word because he realized he cussed on the camera.
I don't swear. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't use curse words.
Oh, got it.
CC's that guy when it's just like, you can ask me 3 questions. I can ask you 3 questions. That's one of them. Did that really count as a question? That's 2 of them.
That's right.
Can I ask my first question now? Thank you.
So basically, he's a 10-year-old.
Pretty much. I start my new job Monday. So like today, when this comes out, I'm at work while I'm on my way to work.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Wait, what time do you go into work?
7.
I thought this thing goes live at like 4 a.m. normally.
Yeah, but nobody listens to it at 4 a.m. They wait until they get up.
I mean, like I do because I'm normally still awake.
Well, that's because you're fucking weird.
No. It's
Also, do you have to work? Do you have to work on the weekends?
No.
Okay, so you'll be Monday through Friday just podcasting, listening in the morning.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I luckily don't have to work weekends because I don't want to do that. And my boss isn't an old racist dipshit.
Oh,
we hate those.
Yeah.
There's
one.
Boo, racist dipshit bosses.
Dude, well, we've talked about my old boss on here a couple times. He was a dick.
Yeah. Well,
big time dickhead.
Yeah, he actually threw something at CC one time.
Yeah,
and it bounced,
he almost got
him in the head.
He almost got his fucking ass beat.
Well, good thing that you have a hard ass head.
Right. You know? Well, he threw a empty jug of window washer fluid, and it bounced and hit me in the head, and I was like, "Oh, I should just whoop his ass right now," But he's old.
You should have. You now don't have.
Yeah.
So now CC is like, God, I hope I see him in public. He wants to start going places just because he knows that the dude.
No, dude. No, what are you talking about? We don't need that on record. We don't need that on record here. We don't need that on record here. I ain't gonna slap nobody. Come on now.
Supposedly, allegedly.
Yeah. I ain't gonna slap somebody. Nah, dude.
No, he's a big teddy bear.
All love.
Yeah, all love.
Peace and love.
But
yeah,
anyway,
all love, guys. Did you? We played Call of Duty last night.
We did.
I've heard that it's getting bad again, but I didn't notice any hackers last night. Did you?
I don't think we were alive long enough to notice hackers. Let's be honest.
We had fun though. I had fun.
Yeah, we had fun, but like I don't think we made it to like the top like 10% in any of the matches that we were in. Like we were not like top 5 or top 10 in any of them. We just kept getting absolutely crapped on.
Yeah.
Whether it was from range or whatever.
I think snipers is the only thing that I got my ass whooped, but it was constant last night. Everybody's using snipers right now.
It's the meta back in old Verdansk. It's going to be the meta in the new Verdansk. The number one weapon right now is the HDR, as far as if you go and look at percent of weapons used.
Yeah.
Number one's the HDR, number two's the AK. So they're
Can
looking
I ask what an HDR is? Like, do we want this to become a part of this recording? Me being like, what is that?
It's a big sniper rifle.
Okay.
So HDR is literally the name of the weapon itself. Like, you go to pick it up off the ground, it just says HDR, and that's it.
Because isn't the like general HDR acronym, isn't that like a TV thing? Like some spec on a TV? Okay.
Probably, yeah.
HD something.
Isn't that just HD?
Well, I've heard HDR before.
I've heard HDR.
Okay. So I'm so far out of the tech world then anymore.
Yeah,
but
you're
no,
old.
It was. God, don't remind me. Speaking of which, speaking of old, Missa actually got invitations made for my birthday.
I heard that.
And I would show them, except that they have sensitive information on them, so I will not be showing them on the podcast. Sit there and dox
Maybe
myself.
I'll show it someday.
And dox your podcast host?
Right?
It's fine, man. Like, I know where you live also, although you'll post random pictures of the front of your house from your Tesla, so it doesn't really matter.
Right, yeah. We both have guns. It's cool.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I may or may not have had a boating accident. It really depends on local, state laws and local laws.
Everybody loses their guns boating, right? It's like I took my guns out in the boat and you just lost the boat and the guns.
Yeah, I no longer have.
Is that what they write on the insurance claim to try?
No, that's when the cops come, like, to kind of take your guns. Like, I lost them. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have them.
Yeah, it's one of those like long-standing jokes that I took my gun sightseeing or whale watching and lost them overboard.
Yeah.
When you said take your gun sightseeing, I thought you're like holding your gun and being like, look at all.
Yeah, in the boat.
In the boat, yeah.
I
look at the water. Yeet.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
If you've seen the price of some of the weapons that are out there, I mean, they cost more than your firstborn. So
let me ask you this, because this is like this is my thing. Do people typically add like insurance to their weapons because of how much they cost?
I'm sure some people probably do.
It really depends on why and what, because the thing is like weapons in themselves aren't something that typically just get lost somewhere. It's not like your cell phone. You're not taking it and like leaving it on a countertop.
Yeah, unless somebody like breaks in and steals it.
And at that point, you have serial numbers and all this other stuff, and you report it as a theft.
I wonder if anybody's ever put like insurance on their gaming PC.
There is. I looked into that because one, Ricky has a very expensive PC, and two, when we lived, in a very so sorry, my bad.
No,
it's all right. It's all right, Heath.
Whoa!
We can't say he's from Iowa. He's the only one.
My name's Jim, dude. What are you talking about?
Oh, Christ.
So, okay.
You're not Asian. Jim's not Asian. Glad you didn't see. Don't you see? What is it? Glad you don't see race, Dwight?
That's right.
Shout out to Randall Park. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But anyways, when we were living in a really bad area and there was a very expensive PC in our house, I was like, what is this thing? And you can. There's a company or an app called Lemonade or something. And
oh, really?
you can get like very inexpensive insurance for like your expensive items as like a non-wealthy person. And it's fairly reasonable. It's like $20, $30 a month. Wow. And they'll replace stuff. But it's just like $20, $30 a month over however many years you're going to keep the PC. Typically the PC, you guys are like replacing those things like, and so then
mine's getting replaced by in probably the beginning of 2026.
Yeah. So here the thing is that like PCs normally you can upgrade them. Okay, you can like take apart and you like do a little bit better, but every couple of years and honestly it's been
a long time.
DDR4 was around for quite a while.
15 years?
Yeah. The thing is that during the big boom of, COVID, and everyone doing PCs and everything in that area. Shortly after that, they finally updated to DDR5. And with that, that means new RAM. That means a new motherboard. That means,
a
if
new
you
processor.
if you don't want to be bottlenecked by one of these things, all your parts kind of got to, match a little bit. So, yeah,
But
I mean,
honestly, if you were to buy a brand new PC right now, you should be good for 10 years.
yes. Well,
should be.
You would want to upgrade small parts of it at that point, but you would not have to replace the entire thing all at once because it should.
Yeah, unless they change the socket unless they change the socket or the RAM or something again. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's
really
our PCs are very similar. Like me and Zeus's are very similar. I have the i9 10900K. He has the i9 950. Right?
10850. It's
literally 10850. Okay, and then
it is a tenth of a gen before his, and it just so happens that it was the one that had problems, but it was the best at the time that I got it.
And mine was the best at the time.
He built his computer like 4 months later.
Well, so I didn't even build mine. Well, I mean, it's built now. I built it now, but when we had the derecho happen, and my basement got flooded. I mean, my whole roof got ripped off and everything. My computer was in the basement.
With all of the sharks that came in with the hurricane.
Yeah, allegedly sharks.
Allegedly.
There were sharks.
In Iowa.
Yeah, well, there was a hurricane in Iowa. So, just saying. Anyway, I talked to the insurance guy, and I'm like, will you guys cover my computer because it got wet? And he's like, yeah, buy a new one and just turn in the receipt. Well, I didn't have $2,000 laying around, so I got a Best Buy credit card. Went to Best Buy, I went online and I bought the computer that I wanted, had it shipped to my house, and they didn't cover it.
Why didn't they cover it?
I don't know. They dicked us around about a lot of stuff.
All right, so Missa, you know how my luck with like just life in general is amazing?
Yeah,
CC is the opposite. What is
my luck with life is amazing. We love hearing that, honey. Thank you.
Look, I am, like, all things considered, I'm a very lucky person.
I'm not.
He is
fired
not.
from my job this year.
He has the
been to the hospital twice this year.
All right, this guy.
CC, you are having the year I had in 2024. We won't get into that. Yeah, but by the time 2024 was like New Year's Eve, I was sitting there like this, like, please God, don't let anything else happen because this day needs to be done.
Yeah, poor Missa went to 7 million funerals and just horrible.
Today I have Bree's grandparents' celebration of life, so that's why we're doing it this early. So, yeah.
R.I.P. to Bree's grandparents.
Yes, they were both wonderful people. They were so nice.
So they're having a joint celebration. Did they pass around the same time?
No, he passed about a year before she did.
Okay.
And they just didn't really do much then, and they kind of planned on doing it, when she went. So.
But that's nice.
Yeah.
Yep. That's nice. That's lovely.
My grandfather is still kicking. He was
ironically. Wait, hold on.
Go for it.
Are you the oldest out of the three of us?
I am.
Yeah.
By far.
Yeah. And you have Cece, do you have any grandparents that are living?
Yeah, I've got a grandpa and a grandma, but different sides.
I was gonna say, ironically, you have the one living grandparent out of the three of us, and you're the oldest. Because my grandparents are all long gone by now.
Now, I only have one of the four that are left. One of them I never met. She passed when my dad was like 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And the two of the other ones passed away, I think it was like 12 or 13 years ago at this point. And then my one grandfather, I think, 4 years ago, he was given 2 weeks to live. The old man does not want to die. He was
given 2 weeks to live in COVID. And he got COVID.
Pre-COVID, he was given a couple weeks to live. So,
and then he got it. And then he caught COVID twice.
twice. So, He was
It's
on
funny
hospice.
now, but it wasn't then, right?
Like he was put on hospice and sent home to live out his last couple of weeks comfortably.
Right.
And he only improved. He's like, yeah, and this is me quoting. Okay, don't count this one against me. That fucking hospital is the worst goddamn thing to ever happen to me. He turned 94 this year. All right.
I think my grandpa's 83 or 84, and he's a crazy person. He's wild. I love him.
Yeah.
I just saw my grandma yesterday. Actually, went to her house. So
this old man at the age of like 72 fell off a roof and broke his back, and the doctors are like, "Yeah, you'll probably never walk again."
What are you doing at 72 on a roof, man?
Fixing it because
call your grandson.
The thing is that he's not going to wait for anybody, and we were there helping him with stuff.
Well, on top of that, you think that guy's gonna get on a roof?
No.
Let's remind ourselves.
At that point, like 20 plus years ago, yes. I was still in high school.
It was that long ago. Yeah, I guess, Grandpa.
But basically what ended up happening is that whoever built the house, because the house was built, long before he got there, they used like 3 nails to hold in an entire awning. And so he's up there trying to fix it, and the whole thing just like collapsed under him. And so they told me, never walk again. And again, I quote, I'm not going to let some goddamn kook tell me what I'm going to fucking do. And within like a year, the old dude's like scraping gum off of the sidewalks and stuff out front of his house. And I just like,
dude, stay in the house.
Relax. He's an old farm boy from Nebraska. Right. Like they're just built different.
Right.
I was going to say, he is just built different.
But things that are built the exact same. Have you seen Marathon?
Oh, God.
So here's the thing.
It looks so bad.
You were okay. I was actually on a call with you, and you're like, "It doesn't look that bad."
Well, I was
playing it.
I was watching it on my phone earlier in the day, and we got in voice together, and you're like, "Oh, have you seen Marathon?" I'm like, "Yeah, it looks all right. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it looks pretty good." And then,
so Tim the Tap Man was playing Marathon with what was it? Cloaksy, I think, and then somebody else, or I forget who. But anyway, he was playing with his squad. The screen looks so busy with everything that's on it
to be this fucking really bad
extraction shooter, and they're just like, "Oh, well, don't worry, it's still in beta," and they're planning on a full release just in a couple of months. Like I think it's June or July or something like that is supposed to be the full release of the game.
I'm not for sure.
And it looks like it looks like some backwater indie studios version of Apex Legends. But this is a triple A.
Who makes it?
Bungie, Microsoft. I thought it was Microsoft Bungie.
Is this thing on the list not? I thought it was Bungie also. I thought the Battle Royale that
Marathon's Bungie, I know that.
Okay. So anyway, Bungie made, what was it, Halo.
Shout out to Kai, you know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure it's Bungie, isn't it?
Okay, I think you're probably right.
Yeah, it's Bungie. It's
Bungie. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go look up what this new Battle Royale is.
Bunny and Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Yeah. In any case, it looks bad. It is not a game that a AAA rated, a AAA producer should be putting out at this point. And
I agree.
I get it. They're trying to like cash in. They're trying to like get all this stuff out before GTA 6 because once that comes out, all these other small things are just done.
Yeah.
And go for it.
Did you guys play Last of Us at all?
I did.
I watched him play Last of Us. So
did you play Last of Us 2?
I played some of it, and then the part, because here's the thing, I don't want to give any spoilers because the new series is coming out and a lot of people never played the games, but there's a really big turning point that turned, I'm going to say like 80 or 90% of the player base off.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Okay. Again,
God.
I do not want to give any spoilers to it, but that is the part that I stopped because at that point for me, it's no longer The Last of Us. It is no longer that game.
I mean, honestly, we could talk about it if we wanted to. We're not going to, but we could, because every video on TikTok and Facebook Reels was talking about it already.
Okay,
I mean,
So yeah, after the episode comes out, right? People are like,
yeah,
fucking watch it then. Yeah.
the actress is getting so much hate.
yeah.
Who?
here's the thing.
Bella
So-
Ramsey?
No. It's
Oh.
it's a different actress altogether. It's a
Yeah.
character that was not in the first game at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was this weird semi-woke thing they kind of wanted to do to take the game in a totally different direction.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it was horribly received. And like, okay, so I will say this, all right, just because if you've seen it, it makes a bunch of sense. If
Well,
you
okay.
have no idea,
Yeah,
it doesn't make any at all.
Listen, if you've seen the game or you know anything about it, it's not a spoiler. The game happened 20 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
It's not a spoiler.
It will.
It's
First
not
off, not 20 years ago, because Missa actually
Was
bought
it
me the game.
10 years ago?
Well, I bought him The Last of Us 2. But
That's
The
what we're
Last
talking
of
about
Us
right now.
1.
Yeah.
No, we're talking
Yeah.
about The Last of Us 2.
Okay.
Specifically, because those are the episodes that are coming out. But when the game came out, within the first few days, they're like, I went to play a zombie game and ended up playing, Golf Simulator, 2018 or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, dude. It was only 6 years ago. My bad.
Okay.
But yeah.
No, the Last of Us 2 came out. That was really weird that they did come out with like a remaster of a game that didn't come out too long ago.
Well, the reason they did that was because they put it on PC.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was also the TV show was coming out. Like,
Yeah.
they were just cashing in on this whole
Yeah.
thing. And again, I'm not getting into politics, but Pedro Pascal apparently has some issues with J.K. Rowling and her beliefs at this point and is airing them very publicly.
Yeah, a lot of people have problems with J.K. Rowling now because
Yeah.
she has spoken very candidly about
I
her
like Harry
political
Potter.
beliefs.
I love Harry Potter.
It has nothing
yeah.
to do with Harry Potter, friend.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. It has things to do that she is saying outside of the Harry Potter world.
Yeah.
And
I love
it's just
Harry
weird.
Potter.
I don't know if she said something new or what it was, but he recently has come out as not a fan of her. And I just hate the fact that, like, a series that I really like, which is the Harry Potter series, and an actor that I really like, that are just, and
Button heads.
I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, that happens.
But anyway, Marathon looks like trash. I won't be playing it. Some of the developers are asking and begging people to not compare it to Concord. So there was a
Oof.
developer that was like out there saying, hey, you really should not hold Marathon accountable for the, our failures, because they're trying to do the same exact thing with this. I hate to say it this way, and like I said, I'm trying not to do the whole political thing, but the gaming industry has been going very woke, and they have been getting absolutely trashed. And by the way, I can't listen to Game Rants anymore.
You what?
gave
Game Rant, like the website?
Yes. So
Oh.
Game Rants does video game ratings. Okay. And they gave Concord, a game that was received at like, I think it has the one of, if not the lowest Steam reviews ever. And they gave it a 10 out of
It's pretty
10
bad.
as this is the game of the future. They're all bought and paid for at this point.
So what is Concord then? So that we have
Concord
some
It
background.
was a game that had been built for a couple years and had humongous like promises, and
Okay.
it was
It was
supposed to be a
another-
really good game, and
It was another battle royale type game
It was
where,
bad.
there's, you pick your characters, you go out and you fight a bunch of other people.
they pulled it out of the stores.
Because it was just not ready for release, but they released it.
100%
Yeah, it was
ready
I
for
think
release.
it was ready. It was just so bad. Everything was
Oh.
about it
So-
was that bad that they pulled it. Yeah.
They were trying to hit an audience that does not play that game. They were going for the LGBTQ community in order
I think that's what I'm asking though. Like, what about the game was LGBTQ? Like, what made it woke? Like, I
never
just
played
don't.
it. I never watched anything about it. 'Cause I
so
just didn't
every
care
one of
about
the characters to start off had their pronouns to include they them in their character. Like when you went to pick them, honestly, you could not tell with some of the characters whether they were male or female without that because of how androgynous these characters
Right.
were.
Because that's
And
how.
and the thing is, it's like I don't go to play video games to look like this. Okay, like I don't
Yeah.
care about looking at this. I would much rather call me chauvinistic, call me, whatever you want. I'd much rather look at Lara Croft running around with, polygon boobs than whatever the hell Concord was.
Polygon boobs. That's a real thing that just happened.
Oh, right.
I feel like that's like a really great 90s band name. Like Polygon Boobs with a Z.
But Concord was so horribly received that within just a couple of weeks of a full launch, they said after a certain date they will no longer have support for it, so they were going to go through like season 2, and then after that they would shut down the servers.
Wow.
Like it is bad, and there's
bad.
several games that are out there right now.
Well, Days Gone, I think what was that one game?
No, it wasn't Days Gone. It was something. Was it something Tomorrow?
Yeah, I can't go what it was.
Yeah, I'll have to. I gotta look it up. But there was a couple other ones that did the whole thing. Veilguard, another game that like Blizzard, Activision, they're trying to like push, and no one wants this. They're going after
like Star Wars. We've had more failures in the since COVID than we ever had before, and I feel like
we talked about it on a previous
Payday
podcast.
3 fail, Marvel Avengers fail, Concord, Suicide Squad, Star Wars Outlaws,
Yep,
Skull and Bones.
Yep.
I mean, like,
and the whole thing is that all of these studios, just like Bungie, like with the Halo, we talked about it on a couple podcasts ago. You have people that are in charge of these creative ideas for a game that is literally all about shooting things that are against guns, that have to justify their paycheck in their own mind by saying, oh, well, these guns are just too futuristic. I'm sorry, the battle rifle looks so much like the X8 that was supposed to actually be issued to the military like over the past 10 years.
Well, they're probably going to take it out of the game, bro.
But they won't. Like, could you imagine the battle rifle or the pistol from Halo not making it into the game?
Listen, all I care about Halo is that it's good and it has a BR. We need a BR in Halo.
Why?
We need a battle royal in Halo because we do.
Everybody
wants that.
You already have Master Chief in,
Fortnite. I mean,
yeah. Have you seen that TikTok? Yeah. Where Deadpool's going around and he's just like, hey, check it out. It's Indiana Jones from Fortnite. Hey, it's Wolverine from Fortnite.
Yeah.
Hey, and he just goes through this like Comic-Con just to each of these people, and he's like, it's this person from Fortnite, because Fortnite has like how many skins at this point? Several thousand.
Oh God, a lot.
I was gonna say, ask the Fortnite expert. Like, come on.
Have you played did you play back in the day any of those like BMX games or skateboard games or any of that?
I mean, I did put in a couple of cheat codes for, Pro Skater for, perfect balance and, zero gravity or whatever it was.
Well, I mean, obviously, Tony Hawk 1 and 2 was released a couple years ago. It was during COVID.
Remastered, yes.
You remastered. But 3 and 4 is coming out soon. And I just read this morning that EA is making a new skate game. So yes. That's the problem is like they started. I think it was Tony Hawk came out first, then was Dave Mirra BMX, then Matt Hoffman, and it was just flooded, just like the Guitar Hero stuff. It all came out at the same time, like Rock Band, Guitar Hero. They kept coming out with games, so hopefully that doesn't ruin that genre. But I wonder why they haven't made a new bike game, like Dave Mirra BMX, or why they haven't redone those, because those games were awesome back in the day.
Has BMX been a big thing recently? Like, I feel like if these in real life sports, right, aren't getting big, then what kind of market do they even have for a game?
They're marketing to my generation, CC's generation.
I know, but that's my point, right? Is that like you guys are aging kind of upwards. Whereas this new generation has so much potential and growth in this market over their lifetime that they're probably more focused on that than they are on 40-year-old men.
Yeah, but they're re-releasing all the Tony Hawk games. I mean, release those two, you know? Yeah.
But that's nostalgia for you guys. They've got a base already.
Yeah.
They've already pre-established.
I want Dave Mirra BMX re-released too, though, is what I'm saying. You know, it's a good game.
Did I ever tell you that I got to meet and see Dave Mirra perform at my high school?
Who did you not get to see and meet that performed at your fucking high school?
No, actually, I'm sorry. That was my junior high that they did that.
You lived in California, okay? I lived in Iowa. We grew up differently, all right?
We are not the same.
Hey. I lived in California, too. I didn't get none of that. Okay?
I was worried about fires and earthquakes, and you're worried about hurricanes and sharks in your basement, all right? We are not the same.
Derenchos.
By the way, the game was called Day Before.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Because Days Gone is actually a really good zombie survival game. That's why I knew it wasn't that one. It was a PlayStation exclusive for a while. It did hit PC at one point, but it's a single-player game, great storyline. I want to make sure we weren't talking any trash about that one. But most of the good games that are coming out right now are actually remakes of things like Oblivion. Yeah. Just got
they just dropped that
out of nowhere. They're just like, hey, guess what we got before GTA 6?
I watched this TikTok the other day. It was amazing TikTok. It was a dude sitting at his desk and his boss comes up behind him. He's like, hey, did you do that thing today? Yeah, I released Oblivion. Yeah, I released it. He's like, what? You were just supposed to release a teaser for it. No, he freaked. It was hilarious. I laughed so hard. I never played it.
Yeah,
surprise,
motherfucker.
Oblivion, like Elder Scrolls, is this huge IP. The original game came out in 2006, actually March 20, 2006, and then just a few days ago, pretty much without any real build-up or anything like that, they're just like, "Hey guys, guess what? Here it is." And not only here it is, we're releasing it for all platforms, and it's $50. That was one of the TikToks I saw, was a guy being like, Oblivion and whatever, saying, yeah, we just released for all of this. And then Nintendo comes in, it's like, so you didn't make it an exclusive so that people had to buy your console? No, not at all. Why would we do that? We want everyone to enjoy it. And you didn't charge $130 for it and then charge them for the DLCs and all this other stuff? Like, why would we do that? It's like, and he's like, well, you didn't release it on Switch. And they're like, well, we're not really sure if the Switch can handle it at this point. And that's where TikTok ends.
A game
too logical.
Nope, not everybody can do that, right? Like, Oblivion can do that.
Anything
somebody
that
else
has a really
did it a few years ago. Somebody else did it
can
recently.
do it. Like, honestly, if they wanted to re-release...
Halo 5 just dropped randomly on a day. The multiplayer did, yeah.
Okay. Like, there's a lot of these games that if they wanted to, they could very well do something like that.
Yeah, but not everybody can do that, though, is what I'm saying.
But the problem
you
is...
gotta have a huge IP.
Most of those IPs are from Nintendo. Like, if Zelda... if one of the Zelda series decided to remaster itself, whether it's Link from the Past, whether it is the Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, if they were to release that to the, the mass thing, that would be wildly successful. And I really do think that they would make way more money, even at $50, as, all platforms, rather than doing $100 on just Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, that's something I'm seeing a lot too on social media, is that the Switch 2 games are going to be like very expensive.
$80 a piece.
Right. And so I'm like, what makes people want to spend money to get a new console and then pay a premium price for the same game that they could play on a Switch 1 or their console that they already fucking have?
So
like, I just don't.
I from what I've heard, Switch 2 games will not play on the Switch. You have to buy.
Is that true?
That's what I've heard. I thought we talked about that on the podcast one day. Right?
So here's the thing: is the case for? I mean, I think that's the case for all consoles.
Yeah.
You can normally backwards compatible, but being forwards compatible is something that we don't do because the technology in the newer things
isn't compatible with the old stuff.
Right. Yeah. And normally you get more space on it. The disc reader isn't as good, whatever.
Yeah.
But for them to be releasing these things like that, I'm sorry, but just recently, and I mean very recently, within the past couple of years, Nintendo finally got out of 30 frames per second. I'm sitting here playing games at like 150, 200 frames. Nintendo locked their consoles at 30 frames, which is what a normal TV is at.
Yeah.
Like, they are so far behind on all this stuff that the only thing keeping them alive, it's kind of like Nintendo is very much like Disney, where they're still marketing to the exact same demographic.
Right, but like,
I know. Go ahead.
But Nintendo, right? They have their fanboys.
They do.
That are diehard. And they'll pay anything for the new Mario game.
But do you think, so then now, building on this, right? Do you think that then the Nintendo Switch 2, which is, up and coming and these new games are so expensive, do you think that's going to be like an elitist tier of Nintendo only fans? Like, no. Because I feel like Nintendo Switches currently, like, people are, a lot of people have them. You don't have to be like a huge Nintendo fan just to have it because it's very affordable and, lots of kids games and all this shit. Well, like, now if, this, new thing is expensive, the games are expensive, like, what's a draw? It's just the upgrade, basically.
Is a lot of people are going to buy themselves the new console and give their kids their old Switch.
Okay, so it's going to be like a generational, like, handoff, basically. Okay.
I think that's what they're going to do because the Nintendo crowd is not afraid to spend money. They're just not. They never have been.
I mean, I feel like gamers in general, like, you guys spend money on stuff that normal people just don't buy.
We were talking last night that I'm going to have to buy a PS5 in order to play GTA 6.
Yeah, so CC is willing to drop $600 to play a game. No, we agreed that you wanted to pay the
because I can get a used PS5 for $300 all day long on Facebook, and if the game costs between $100 and $200, I would do it.
Okay, I love how you're sitting there with this like slight smirk on your face, like I am kind of embarrassed that I'm saying.
I'm super embarrassed.
Well, you know why he's embarrassed? Well, you know why he's embarrassed? Because the only person that's an actual financial advisor, potentially, is right here staring at him, laughing at him.
Yeah. Well, hey. This is why I'm poor.
So you have to justify...
I make bad financial decisions.
Okay.
Right, so you...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, so you have to justify the fact that you're in this income level poor tax bracket by making continued poor life choices.
Every day of my life.
Paddington.
Every day of my life. Well, listen. This is work related, though. If I get GTA 6, I can talk about it on the podcast.
Pause.
Whoa, no.
Not a single dollar is being made off of this podcast. As we established a few weeks ago, it was about 8 cents.
There's dollars going into the podcast, though. It's an investment.
Okay, now...
Just so you know, as an accountant, there are 2 types of entries that you make on a T-chart, debits and credits, okay? Yeah. Well, you're making all debits. You are literally just like...
Wait a minute.
Swipe that.
Can't I claim that on my taxes, though?
You don't have an LLC, friend. You don't have a business.
Well, I do have one. It's just not tied to the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, then what?
I could tie one to the podcast and then take it out of my taxes, right?
And then you need to file a corporate tax return every year.
Yeah,
and I don't know what the fee is in Iowa, but the corporate tax return fee in California, just the standard one. Say you make no money. Yeah. You still have to pay at least $800 every year to the state. So are you gonna do that?
I got more than $800 in stuff that I have to buy for this podcast every year.
Wait, and then you have to go to a tax account so they can file it for you, unless you're going to do it yourself.
I'll do it myself. I got this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't listen, IRS. Nobody.
No. Hey, I file my own tax. I have to pay it every year, so it's great. It's wonderful.
Don't listen, IRS.
I have never filed my own taxes, and I have never had to pay.
Oh, I've
taxes.
paid since COVID. I've had to pay in every year.
Why
Yeah.
since
No.
COVID?
I have no idea what happened, but like after, well, like the middle of COVID, I've had to pay in at least $600 every year. I claim zero. They take it out of my check and I have to pay in every year. Being a single man in this world, you are just taxed to the T.
Well,
It's
it would
ridiculous.
You
be
get a
whole
lot of
lot
other things
easier
easy though, so
if that beautiful woman upstairs would just throw you a bone and be like, "Hey, I will claim you as my dependent because you are a child in a basement, much
I
like
made
myself."
more money than her though, so I wasn't
Alright.
able to last year. Yeah.
But anyway, going back to your whole thing with GTA 6, now, if you streamed more and
Yeah.
that was your thing, because like we talked about it last night, he has streamed like once or maybe twice in the
I think
past
three.
month.
I think three. Last night was my third time since since Comic-Con.
Okay.
But I've been very busy.
He has been very busy being unemployed, as we all know. I mean, here's the thing.
busy, sick,
Yeah.
taking care of someone else that's
Almost-
sick.
almost- I had a kidney stone, man. That thing sucked.
Yeah, that I can't imagine. I'm so sorry. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
But
Yeah.
to your credit, Cece, once we moved out here and I did retire, I
did
didn't stream for like
retire.
the first year.
Yeah.
And
This is like, yeah. You.
That's a
Yeah.
point of pride for a lot of Midwest women is that they retired their husbands with their gig. And I'm like, why are we proud of this?
Right? It drives Bree nuts that I don't go to work right now. It drives her absolutely nuts.
Oh, really?
But I start Monday, so we're back. We're
That's
making
true.
money.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your plan was not to retire, obviously. Like this layoff
No.
was not a decision of your own. So
Oh, it was
that's
not a layoff.
completely
it was
different.
a firing.
They got fired.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but like I think the only reason Bree has a problem with you not working is that she has to deal with you 24/7.
Oh,
It
yeah.
has nothing to do with the fact like if you were like not really working or whatever, but you were leaving the house, like if you started to work from home, she would probably have the same exact issue with you.
Oh, yeah.
It is just she
But-
needs a break.
Well, so she, like not last week, but the week before, she was training somebody at work.
Mhm.
She's like, I can't have you coming in here, like, bothered me. And I just, like, come right in there and be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? You want lunch today? You want me to make you some lunch today? You want a soda? You know? And she's like, leave, dude. Go. I'm working. Go. Yeah.
Okay,
so
the reason I'm laughing so hard is
told you,
because
Missa, you're the weird one.
that was my life. Like literally, this guy just like barges in and he's like in the back.
No.
And I'm like,
it was one time, okay? So
okay, yeah, go
she was
ahead.
working from home one day.
This was in LA. This was in LA. Mhm.
I was leaving for work. All right.
I was
I walked-
on a call, like actively on a call. There's people's faces on my screen. My camera is on. Like,
Okay.
I go over to give her a kiss on the cheek to say I'm leaving for work. I get a death glare. I get ripped up and down for it being unprofessional and how dare you like do all this stuff. And I'm just like,
and okay,
they know
let's-
that you're with me. They know that I'm there. It's like a normal relationship. I'm sorry. Like I'm just saying goodbye to the woman I've now, as of now, been with for like 10 years.
here's my
She's embarrassed of me. is
here's
what it
my
is.
side of the story.
Hey. Don't blame her.
Damn.
My side of the story. My side of the story, okay? As a corporate ex-corporate, as a corporate employee, right? You keep whatever is on your camera is the office. Like you are in a working office. Whatever is on your camera is that. Now, do other offices have less strict, like, boundaries and practices and, just a less corporate strict dynamic? Yes. My corporate office at the time was very strict. The dynamic was very professional. Like that's just how it was. So going outside of hold on. Let me finish. So going outside of the norm and having this guy come in and do this, was I actually bothered by the action? No, I didn't. It didn't bother me. But when he came home from work and I was no longer on the camera, I said, "Honey, can you not do that?" This was how I said it. And he goes, "Why? Why not? How come I can't do that?" And I'm like, I just, I explained it. It's professional. It's, this and that. And he had the roughest time understanding that. And I'm like, what is your problem? Just
okay. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay.
How many times in your 10-year relationship have you said, "What is your problem?" to this man?
Oh, in my head every day.
Yeah.
24/7.
Normally, I'm the one getting this lashing right now. I love this.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Zeus gets roasted. Bring me on for the roast of Dr. Zeus.
This is a long time coming, buddy.
Oh, and that's fine. Now we get to hear my portion of this whole thing. And again,
we already heard your portion, homeboy.
Bonnie married, right? Your old partner married.
Wait a minute.
What?
I don't think we want to hear your side. I think we want to wrap it up without hearing your side.
At 50 minutes?
Yeah, we're good.
What? You've also got to cut Missa's little part unless you want it to stay in.
I'm not going to cut that. She's a newbie. That's not getting cut, baby. That's her thing. Okay.
So there are a couple of things that I did like on Kai's thing over here.
I just don't know what that shit is. So
it's
a lot of it is.
Apparently, The Last of Us is going to have an extraction mode. So I haven't.
Yeah, I want to dig into that more before I talk about it because I just, like I said, I didn't have enough time to, which is stupid because we normally record 2 days ago. But I've been busy. I've been very busy. But
he has been.
But we're gonna wrap it up and then we'll get Kai stuff next week with him. Because I don't want to talk about stuff that I don't understand, like the Ubisoft Battle Royale based off Apex. No idea what that is.
So, I legitimately thought that he was.
You thought that was Marathon? Yeah, I don't think he was.
Okay.
So yeah, but we'll talk about it next week.
There is one that I did know about, and that is the newest fast way to travel in Minecraft. Using wind charges and an elytra inside of a small tube. You're able to stack up these charges and then move up to 4,500 blocks a second.
Right.
And so, I mean, you've played Minecraft, all right? Yeah. And so you know that the normal running speed is 9 blocks a second or something like that.
Very slow, yeah.
So to go over 1,000 blocks a second, I don't know, unless you have it already preloaded in. Granted, you have to make the little tube for it and do whatever it is. But yeah, it is absolutely by far the fastest way to travel. And then the last one is the healers going on strike in Marvel Rivals. Rivals is just hitting the growing pains that all of those types of games hit.
Right.
Where it doesn't feel like you're being very impactful. No one wants to play that role anymore. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Overwatch hit that with tanks. No one wanted to play tank, which is why they went to a 5v5 because no one wanted to play tank. Instead of addressing the issue, they just decided to completely redo the game. Also, another thing with Overwatch is they did release their new thing called Stadium. I'm not really a fan of the whole thing. They changed the field of view on the game as well. So, and they also have now third person. So one of the big problems with their third person is that some of the characters, you can't even see the weapons where they're firing from because they're large. The game was never made to be played in third person. So D.Va, you've all seen D.Va's big mech or whatever. You don't even see her guns. And so she has 2 blasters, but if half of your character is behind a wall, neither of them shoot out.
Right.
And so...
Well, and that's normal with, like you said, with those kind of games, with people switching, the meta switching and everything. Everything's just they just gotta keep working, and they got a lot of stuff coming down. Marvel Rivals. I read a big article about them this morning.
Well,
They got a lot
they're
of stuff
supposed to be releasing, I guess, one new character every month.
Yeah,
I think that's what their thing was, is
That's
one
what
new
they're-
character
yeah, I
every
think
month
so.
for at least
Very,
2 years.
very ambitious. That's very ambitious.
So Marvel Rivals has one thing going for them that Overwatch never did. Overwatch, whenever they want to do a new character, they have to start from nothing. They have to create a new
That's true.
character,
Yeah.
and then the abilities.
And Marvel
or whatever.
has just thousands.
This
Marvel
plethora.
The Marvel universe
Yeah.
that they can pick things from that are already done. They just have to build a character to these,
and the
pre-described-
abilities and the weapons and all
Yeah.
this stuff.
and
yeah.
it's all there. The character design is there. Their character themselves and how they act and the voice lines that they use, it's all already created. Those universes have been there since what, the 60s?
Yeah,
Some of those characters.
long time.
Cyclops isn't in there yet. Nightcrawler's not in it
There's
yet.
a lot of them
there's-
not in there yet. A lot of them.
Most of the X-Men are not in there.
Yeah.
Most of the rest of the Avengers are not in there. And that's not even going into all of those like subsects of things that people just didn't get into.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys listening to the podcast. Please check out our socials.
I got it, Cece. I know you hate doing this.
Yeah. Well, I do the intro, so it's just weird when I do the outro.
Yeah, we can't hear his voice too much.
Yeah, you don't want just me. In my
I don't know. I listen to you quite a bit, but I will read the script verbatim that Kai put out for us. Yes, it's pinned in our Discord.
Good job.
Good job.
Oh my god.
Good job, man.
It's a Discord channel that he created.
Did I write it or did you?
Yes, you wrote it.
Yeah, I wrote it.
It's in the bright pink.
Yeah. No, I got you.
It says, again, I'll read it verbatim. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you agree or disagree with from the show and anything you'd like to discuss next week.
I made this.
I know you did. I know you did. Jesus. You can catch this show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeart, and Rumble. Please also follow the socials at Patreon, Facebook, X, TikTok, and Instagram.